May the grace of God's love continue to infill your souls with His essence. I greet you once again, beloved children of the world. I come to deliver my last sermon to you all, of this series. I wish to thank this instrument for his dedication and time, and for all of you for your prayers and support so that this connection and work together may come to fruition. My beloved and beautiful friends, it is my heartfelt desire that you may listen to my words and be inspired by them, that you may study these texts that have been delivered, not only through this instrument but through others, so that you may come to understand the teachings which I have put forth, for these teachings are of the truth. These teachings are the way to the salvation of the soul, not through the belief and mindful understanding of my words, but through putting these truths into action, applying them in your lives, making them a true and living doctrine within you so that you may indeed come to be with God, as I am with God, as many souls are with God, who have adopted the truth and applied it to bring their souls into alignment with God. That the very act of prayer to receive this gift of love, to beseech God to infuse His love within your souls, is the key to the salvation of the soul, for the power of this love transforms the soul and brings it into at-one-ment with God. Not in some miraculous way that is instantaneous, but in the way of prayer, consistent and applied daily to receive, drop by drop, the inflowing of this great gift from God. It is a simple practice that can be applied by any individual no matter their age, their culture, their creed or beliefs, for each individual may open themselves in faith, and ask that God may give to them this great blessing and benefit. Some from other cultures may believe that this is a Christian doctrine, but the understanding of Christian doctrine in this day and age is far different from the teachings that I brought forward in my life. Of course, I was a Jew, not a Christian, for Christianity was not yet an invention of those who wished to proffer these messages to the world. Every soul upon this world is a child of God. Whatever their beliefs may be, they are still a true and beautiful creation of God and as such, has a birthright and potential to have their souls awakened in love, the very essence of God, impregnating their souls with love and transforming their souls so that they may be a true child of God. In the celestial kingdom where I reside, there are souls who have had a lifetime on earth, which represented many cultures, religions, experiences, and times of history where they have existed and lived their lives. This variety is far greater than you may suspect. Does God pick only those who are of the Christian belief? Within that belief, there is often a bias towards those who are white-skinned and of European descent. These things are a gross error, for God embraces all of His children. God delights in the variety of His creations, the many individual personalities, their expressions, their cultures, and their appearance. These things are a manifestation of the uniqueness and creativity of His beautiful creatures, which includes all of humanity. It is time for the world to stop delineating, dividing, coalescing into groups that are of like mind and like appearance and finding comfort and safety within these groups. It is time for humanity to awaken to its true nature, for beyond the superficial, are you not all the same, beloved souls? Your minds may be imprinted by your experiences in your culture, but indeed, the functioning of each individual is similar. Each soul upon this world, though unique, is still a soul who is a part of the great flow of humanity, each possessing a soul, each having a spirit body, and for those of you on earth, possessing a physical body. Does this mean that God intended for you to judge one another for their differences or rather to appreciate one another for those differences? Nature in itself has a great variety and delights humanity with all of the creations of God and the beauty of those creations. Is not the creation of man any different than this, allowing for individuality and expression and as such with great variety? It is time for humanity to open its eyes to the truth of its existence, the truth of what is within them, deep within them, and come to understand that what lies within is of a far greater value than any superficial appearance or handicap or differences of intellectual ability, of all things which humanity has deemed to be crucial and important in their way of life, yet in the grand picture of God's creation and the purpose that God has put forth for the journey of humanity in its expression. And destiny is to be united with God in light and love. Unfortunately, humanity has lost its way, does not see nor understand this truth, and that true progression requires individuality, variety, unique expressions, and unique experiences for a soul to truly develop and find its way back to God. This is an important truth. When humanity comes to honor and truly understand this and realize that the differences are a gift, the differences reflect the vast creativity of God, through each individual, and as such, is an expression of God. If this understanding and truth were accepted in the world, that humanity will come to love their brothers and sisters and honor them for who and what they are, then much of the strife of this world would be eliminated and light would replace the dark conditions which are so predominant. The biases and prejudices which are deep within the minds of many in your world would give way to the true awakening that must come to each individual. The realization that they are a unique creation of God, and so is every brother and sister in the world, that there are no two souls who are identical, not only in appearance but in the makeup of their own soul. All the things that come from their uniqueness may add to the great tapestry of life in this world, provided that soul is willing to reach towards their higher selves, the beauty and potential of that creation within them, their souls liberated from the blinkered perspective of the mind and the biases and fears and darkness, which reside within almost every soul upon your world. It is time for humanity to awaken to its own potentials. Humanity has looked up to the stars with a longing and desire to explore the physical universe. Humanity has aspired to build great cities, cultures, structures to glorify their mindful perspective and to reflect their thoughts and beliefs about the nature of life. Humanity has put a great deal of effort and focus upon this, and has come to create wondrous things and horrible things in your world, and has brought some joy, but also much suffering, because the vision of man is inadequate to see beyond these restricted concepts and mindful beliefs. So, I have come to speak to the world and encourage the world to shift their reality from that of the old and tired beliefs and patterns that grip humanity and shackle them in error, to find liberation in that deeper place within them, that vital part of them that is their soul. My message is no different from what it was 2,000 years ago. It applies to a soul today as it applied to a soul in that day. Contained in my message is to discover how a soul may be liberated from the material and mindful conditions that so entrap each individual in their thoughts and actions. I come to beseech humanity to release themselves from these self-imposed burdens so that they may find liberation in love, and that they may find liberation in forging a true and abiding relationship with their Creator. It is only a soul that can make such a bond with God that brings His powerful blessings and benefits, for the power of God's love is immense, and the presence of God's love is everywhere in the universe. All that is required of any individual upon this world or in the world of spirit, is to yearn and open to the presence of God, and in an instant, it will be recognized by the soul, for the soul is equipped to communicate with God. The faculties of the soul are God's gift to humanity to allow it this special relationship, this ability to truly understand God and to truly be with God in deep love, alignment, and awareness. The consciousness of God resides within the soul. My work is to help humanity understand their own soul, and understand the potentials of their own soul, to see beyond the limited perspective of their minds, and go deeper within themselves in prayer and contemplation, to be with God truly, and to be there without the distractions, the clutter of thoughts, of mindful concerns, but to truly be with God in pure bliss and joy. For when a soul makes deep commitments to these ends, applying themselves each day to fulfill this promise, that they may be with God in all its purity and joy, so that they may receive the great blessing of God's essence within them in order to fix them to God for all eternity. In this way, all that man has built, all that is of the human creation, pales in comparison to the liberation of the soul awakened and in alignment with God. The consciousness that is possible within each individual will usurp all other desires, all other experiences of life, and bring into perspective the true nature of life and the true purpose of life. Humanity cannot continue to be distracted and deluded and follow its erroneous path of self-aggrandizement, for there is nothing that can truly be accomplished in the societies and existence of man upon this world without true soul awakening and understanding. I have spoken of this in my sessions. I have brought you to the truth of the soul. We have journeyed through the spheres and journeyed through the cosmos. I have spoken of the things that are of great importance, the truths which humanity can apply to their lives to bring great blessings and joy, to bring truth and understanding to each individual. The way in which this may be, is not difficult. The great tragedy of humanity is that it cannot easily release their desire and attachment to the workings and development of their mental capacities in exclusion of the soul's wisdom and truth. So the world continues to develop in this imbalanced way, reflecting the imbalance within each soul, for most souls upon this world walk with a mind that is full and a soul that is empty. How unfortunate that this is the condition of humanity, that they lack a true grounding within their true natures, within their true selves. Humanity is meant to be with God, to be in a relationship with God, to be in harmony with God's laws, and to know God through His love. Until this is the common truth of human existence upon your world, there can be no peace and there can be no true advancement. Humanity continues to tinker with its machines, its creations, developing more and more sophisticated tools and artifacts that continue to distract and bring mental satisfaction, and bring man further away from God. For within the predominant thinking of humanity, there is a belief that they are God, that there is no one, nothing that is beyond them and their great powerful expression upon your world. Yet, all around them, they have come to realize, if only for a moment, that the world is changing, that the conditions of the world are indeed causing and expressing forces that are contrary to humanity's expressions and goals. These forces will continue to build, for God will not allow humanity to take control of the world because humanity is just a child, not yet mature in its nature, in its true being. As with any father with a child, he will set limits and correct that child for their benefit and continued development. God's generosity is limitless as is His love. God puts before humanity many opportunities to come to realize and understand their own selves and the great potentials that lie within them. But, because of these imbalances, humanity has put forth great effort to develop their minds while their souls languish and starve for that which it requires to be vital and alive within them. It is time to nurture the soul. Time has run out in terms of the free rein that God has given humanity to govern itself, to decide for itself the journey that it can take on its own accord. Now forces are coming into play that are corrective and reactive to the contrary actions of humanity. Now is the time of great change, which I have alluded to in my talks. Now is the time to awaken, for without awakening there will be great strife and a deep misunderstanding, which will reflect the mindful thoughts of man and deep resentment, like a child who is removed from a situation that is dangerous and reacts with frustration. So it is with humanity as they find that their great creations, their great structures will no longer serve them and that they must find another way to live a harmonious life upon this world. Much is coming, beloved children. So we in the world of spirit and the celestial kingdom are continuing to make great efforts to prepare you, to inform you, to inspire you towards higher thoughts and intentions and deeper understandings of your true nature. Each of you have the ability to go to God for the truth, for deeper understanding and wisdom, for love and support, for strength and faith, so that you may conduct yourselves in a way that is in greater harmony with God's laws and in greater harmony with God's intentions for humanity. That you may see that truly all souls are loved by God, that all souls are unique, and that each road that is taken in harmony with God's will is a road that will benefit the world and benefit the individual. Acknowledging this and understanding truly God's great plan for humanity will bring the individual to a place where they may work in concert with God, so to bring about the changes that are necessary for the salvation of your world. All the blessings and benefits that may come to that individual which I have described in my talks, will be theirs. No soul is meant to be denied these blessings, but each soul must and does carry the responsibility to come into alignment with truth, with love, with God's laws and creation, for the individual cannot stand alone and think that in their aloneness they have no responsibility towards another, towards their actions in conjunction with others, and that they are free to act and think and move in a way that merely gratifies their own desires and material gains. This is of great error, for each soul is connected, and each soul is connected to God. But the awareness of that connection, the awareness of this bond is so deeply hidden within the individual that it is extremely difficult for them to understand and acknowledge this. For those of you who do understand and acknowledge their relationship with God and their deep bond with humanity, I say, express these things with every breath and have compassion for your brothers and sisters who are lost to this truth and have great resistance and fear to delve deep within them, for they sense a great vulnerability in this. As the brittle structure of error falls away, as many souls come further towards truth and understanding and love, the journey towards truth and towards the soul is the greatest journey that any individual may take in their life. It is a journey that is meant to be taken by each individual. Yet, they do not need to take such a journey alone. As an individual bonds with others who are willing to support them on that journey, then strength and comfort that is palpable come as you bond together. When the individual is ready and willing to take those first steps and does so in prayer to God, asking for God's blessings, God's love, God's upliftment and support, so God will provide for them material support upon this earth in the form of loving souls, in the form of those who have stepped further upon the path, and may give advice and truth to that individual. No one needs to be alone. Even those who do not have the benefit of these sorts of friendships and fellowships will have angels by their side, and will have God's touch upon them, for each soul who aspires towards the highest of truths, aspires towards at-one-ment with God, aspires for the transformation of their soul through the blessings of God's love, will incite the great outflow of light, protection, love, angelic comfort, and presence, knowing of God's presence with them. Though these things may not have any material value and are not in alignment with much of the values of your world, the benefits of a soul redeemed in love are greater than any treasure one may accumulate in your world. The joy that may come to the hearts of those who endeavor to reach God in this way will be immense. In this realization, the accumulation of love, one will see that the obsession with materialism is something that is not worth the effort and focus, and is indeed contrary to God's laws. Given enough of these individual efforts and prayers and application of such, the world will be changed, and light will intensify and peace will come. It is only the will of man that prevents this, for it is the will of God that this may be. For any man who has opened themselves to God, it is clearly evident that the power of God, the presence of God, the magnificence of God is far greater than anything humanity may create or become in the universe. So, God's will be manifest in this world. Despite his gift of free will to humanity, he will find ways and means to circumvent his willful child who does not wish to comply and live in wisdom and harmony. This push and pull of the will of humanity continue in your world. For those who understand the true nature of this situation and have elected to be in alignment with God, so these individuals will be empowered to enact God's will in the world, and will be blessed mightily. They will be able to manifest many things and teach humanity in ways and means that will be astounding and inspiring and will serve to shift the consciousness of humanity. In this way, humanity will see the error of its ways and will come to understand how they may change and come to God willingly and joyfully. Yet, because free will not be dismissed by God, there will be those who will not choose the way of light but will wish to hang on to their dark ways, those ways of the human condition. Unfortunately, they will suffer the consequences of their choice. Much is coming as I have spoken of, as I have warned many times, as has been shared by others, that the world is changing and on the brink of great change. It is time for humanity to consider its choice and what does indeed lie ahead, what will come for their children, and their children's children, what is meant to be in this world, and what it is that humanity is creating out of its blindness, its stubbornness, its immaturity, its lack of love. There is much to consider. So this brings to a conclusion my sharing and talks to the world. It is not that I will cease to speak through this instrument or through others, merely that the body of work that has been created over these many weeks has concluded as of today. As an addendum to this work, I will be willing in the next session to answer questions that are relevant to the soul and are relevant to the awakening of humanity to bring about truth and peace and love. I know that it is the nature of man to have many questions, to seek many answers, and to be told in the most minute of details what to do in their lives. They seek to have others tell them, that others may take responsibility for them, that others will indeed create the conditions that will benefit them. But I say to you, each of you are responsible for your soul's progress, for the true understanding that comes with a soul awakened in love. These things come as a soul is ready to receive, as a soul is awakened in love, as a soul develops and is strengthened as wisdom and maturity come. So it is for you to consider what you may ask that is relevant to the awakening of humanity and the changing of the conditions of your world and how this may be done. Indeed, many of these answers have already been given, not only in this series of talks, but at other times where I, and many others, have spoken. True and usable and viable guidance has been given many times. All that is necessary is the application of it in your lives. As such, you will benefit from this application. You will be given the insights and understanding that will come in prayer, receiving and awakening to the blessing that is God's essence into your soul. It is simple, beloveds. It is truly simple. It will come, drop by drop, into each soul as you are willing to put aside the dominance and error of your mind and come to the truth of your soul, for only truth may reside there, only truth. God is placing all truth within you and giving you the faculties and capacities to truly perceive and know the truth. May you live a life filled with love. May you come to know the great joy that is a life blessed in love. May you come to see yourself as truly a child of God, who is deeply loved, that in these insights, in the application of these truths in your lives, in the understanding of your true place in the universe, you will become truly a magnificent and wonderful soul expressing itself upon a magnificent creation of God, which is this world. In this way, you will contribute to the healing of your world and the awakening of your world. Have faith in yourself, beloveds. Have a true understanding of your nature, of who and what you are. Come to know God. Come to see God as the great, loving Father that He is, who comes each day to uphold you, to uplift you, to nurture you, and to guide you on that journey of awakening, of at-one-ment, of truly expressing the potentials that have been laid within you from the beginning. God bless you, beloved souls. I thank you for listening to my words, for being with me upon this journey that we have taken together, to be within this great flow of light, love, and truth. May we meet again, beloveds, and truly commune and consider the ways of God. God bless you, beloveds. I am with you always. I will never leave. You are my brother. You are my sister. We are together in the journey to at-one-ment with God. God bless you. God bless you.